Just get your passport and get the fuck out. I left the US with $6,000 in the bank.
I moved to Sydney, Australia, and I have been so happy. My mental health has never been better. I knew I couldn't go through 4 more years of Trump.
This comment says, I work at Dulles Airport, and when I tell you thousands, I've seen people leaving America for the past 2 weeks, I was like, what is this, an exodus?
Everyone's talking about leaving America, not for vacation, not for study abroad, but to start over. And honestly, I get it. When you realize you're working 60 hours a week just to be broke at the end of the month, that passport starts looking like a get out of stress card.
I am a Black trans woman, and I'm just too old for this. I'm too old. I can't do it. I don't know. Like, if you have all the power to just stay there and fight the good fight, more power to you, but I just don't have a lot of hope in this one. We did this already. Like, we literally did this already. It was horrible. I remember he would tweet, like, bad things to Kim Jong-un at, like, 3 a.m. And people would be like, oh, God, are we going to war? I'm like, what are we doing? This is not a real country. Like, I cannot be around this. I don't want to be around.
I left the US with $6,000 in the bank. I had no job prospects when I moved abroad. I had no idea what I was doing. I was alone. I overpacked. Don't be me. I brought 2 huge bags. I only needed 1, and really not even that. I had zero idea what I was doing. I had no plan. I had barely any money, and I had no job. And I am still abroad, not living in the US 14 years later.
Yes, it is an exodus. A lot of people are conscious and aware of public and current affairs, what's going on in the United States, have decided for their own safety, for the safety and well-being of their family and their mental health, it's best to leave the United States.
Safety is a real issue in America. Gun violence is wild. Police violence, still an issue. And you never know when some law is going to change and put your rights on the line. We are fucked. The economy is crumbling. We're literally struggling. Like, how are people supposed to breathe, let alone live? There are countries where healthcare is free, housing is affordable, and life isn't about just surviving from paycheck to paycheck.
Okay, and of course, if you look at the Project 2025, that's their ultimate goal, to push people outside of the United States. They're pushing immigrants, Black and brown people. But what's also going on is that a lot of Americans born in the U.S. are also leaving the United States because they do not feel safe and they do not feel like the U.S. government is working within their best interest at this point in time. Now, a good way of finding out more information about people leaving is what you'll notice is a lot of abandoned cars at airports.
My family and I are moving away from the United States and moving to Portugal in 8 days. So coming up very soon here. And this was a 1.5 year process in the making, but ultimately what made the decision, like, yeah, we're going to move to Portugal. It's always political. There's always some part of it that's political. And I don't think necessarily that this should be political, but it is. And a big reason why we are leaving is because of school shootings and gun violence in the United States. And again, part of the reason I didn't want to make this video is because I will inevitably have somebody in my comments be like, well, there's violence in Portugal too. And there's not compared to the United States, not compared to what we live with every day here. And I live in a very, very safe place. I live in a very nice town. It's very small. It's very rural. There is very little crime here. And even we aren't immune to the violence. Kind of got a little disenfranchised and just got that feeling of, I don't know, like helplessness, or the feeling that nothing I do is actually going to ever change anything because I'm just one person and I'm not enough. We made the decision to move in April of 2022, and then May of 22 is when Uvalde happened. And I had a kid that was in that grade that classroom that was targeted was in. And, you know, I couldn't sleep for like 4 days after that happened. It was really hard. We had like a 1.5 weeks of school left. to just put my kids on the school bus every morning. Part of it was for my kids, to get them away from a place where school shootings are relatively normal. I know they don't happen all the time. They don't happen every single day. But the fact that there's multiple school shootings every single year versus, I think, like two in like the recorded history of Portugal, there's been 2 school shootings, just 2. And one was really awful, and I'm very much aware that it could happen again, and I'm very much aware that it could happen again after we move, but I feel like making the move to Portugal decreases the odds of it happening significantly.
People are tired of waking up to trauma in the headlines every single day. And for a lot of families, it's not about giving up, it's about protecting their peace. The American dream was supposed to be work hard, buy a home, and live happily ever after. But now, that dream comes with $60K student debt, 3 side hustles, no home ownership, and anxiety meds. And people are waking up. They're seeing others moving abroad, living slower lives, spending less, and still thriving.
Baby, we're moving out of the United States in 2 weeks. Do I even need to explain why? Look, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I've tried everything that I could try. Literally, it's just not the life for me. I've been everywhere here in the States. I've experienced everything I wanted to experience, and so have my kids. Still, with the income I receive a month, let's just say the math ain't mathin'. When I look at how much I make a month, I should be in a very, very, very good place in life. And when I say good place, I mean I should be at so much peace. I should be living with so much ease. Instead, I'm here in the States experiencing anxiety, depression. I never even knew I had anxiety. I never knew how stressed I was until I leave this bitch. I've always been a very minimalistic person, a very frugal person. I believe in, baddie on a budget. That's just me. If I got it, that doesn't mean I'm about to spend it all. Like, that's just not me. I'm tired of living the fast-paced life. I'm tired. I'm just tired. My kids are already homeschooled. I had to take them out of the school system because it's failing our kids. So why would I be somewhere where we're not thriving mentally, physically, emotionally? We are here just existing and just following, and we're in a rat race. So I'm taking me, my 4 kids, my mother, and now my brother. He wants to be on this journey as well. So I'm taking them and we're getting out of Dodge.
People are sharing their lives in Portugal, Bali, Costa Rica. When you see someone paying $300 for rent and living their best life with fresh fruit and ocean breeze, especially when you're paying $2,000+ a month for an apartment, you start questioning everything.
Why do I want to leave this nation of ours and live somewhere else? Where's better? Well, I still haven't done the research for where's better, but let me tell you why I want to leave. I want to leave because I don't want to live in a place or raise my children in a place that bans books and websites and words that can be used in research. I don't want to live in a place that's censoring our media so badly that we don't know what's going on in the rest of the world. I don't want to live in a place with terrible health care. I don't want to live in a place where childcare costs more than my mortgage. I don't want to live in a place where my daughter will not have as many rights as I did or my mother did. I don't want to live in a place that RFK Jr. is in charge of any type of health service, ever. I don't want to live in a fascist oligarchy. I don't want to live in a place that makes the CDC stop giving us information and drops out of the World Health Organization.
Moving out of the U.S. is now the new dream. Everything is up. Grocery prices, gas, healthcare, childcare. There's an entire move abroad community online sharing visas, jobs, schools, and support systems. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'm tired.